We now return to Reckoning of New York. Oh, brother. Brother Island is a truly dismal place, which fits the ministry perfectly, come to think of it. Hopefully we'll find Sansarique there instead of another red herring. Probably skip through a lot of this dialogue, too. When Kali and I reach the wrecked pier of North Brother Island and see the decrepit buildings nearby, I wince in disgust. My memories of my days on the war front are no longer vivid, yet sights like these still invoke unwelcome sensations, as intense as ever despite the years that have passed. Thankfully, the ghastliness is ruined by the shiny new RIBs moored along the pier. Some of them have clearly been used in the last few hours, judging by the mud and melted snow on the seats. I'm more curious about how Kali has crossed paths with Sansarique. So, just to make sure we're on the same page, what exactly is your connection to Sansarique? She seems apprehensive, as if scared I'll judge her too harshly, but in the end she acquiesces. So I deal on the, let's call it the darker side of the web, right? I'm not sure I understand it. I must admit I'm still unsure what this darker side of the web is, but yes, I do. She opens her mouth, ready to launch into an explanation, but seems to remember that we're on the clock here. Or perhaps she rightly assumes that explaining would be futile. Well, he was technically Reynard's client. Okay, never met the guy, fine. She snorts. I'm about to continue my gentle prodding, and then gunshots. We duck down. He hasn't noticed us yet. We feed. Okay, I guess I feed on him this time. I don't consider myself a picky feeder, but by God, this hunter tastes vile. He's high on adrenaline, his muscles already burning with lactic acid from his panicked run. Weird feeling. Okay. All good? Forgive me. She laughs. All is forgiven. If those were Sansarique's ministers who pushed this poor bastard to the edge, I'm not exactly eager to meet him myself. I nod. Okay, we share a quick glance and move on. Couple shooting. We stumble upon several corpses. Screams drowning out in gunfire. Okay. Screams, okay, great. We'll be fine as long as we don't mistake us for enemies, or they mistake us for enemies. You got yourself right in the middle of a fucking war zone. Paint a broader picture? Yes, I don't know. The whole city feels like a battlefield these nights. It's our luck we arrived right in time for hostilities here. Okay. What's the plan? Look over there. Roll 20, silence. I should let Kali pick. I go with whatever your daredevil instincts. Okay, let's kick some ass. What are you waiting for? Hairs on my neck. Heightened senses. Feel their presence. I shut out other stimuli and zero in on the feeling that made me pause. I isolate it from other senses, focusing intently on the distinct presence. There, behind the wall. 3 of them. I flash 3 fingers at Kali to signal the number of hunters in the next room. We fool the hunters, burst through, gray matter, everybody dies. Drop in immediately. We go back to back, switch places. A great fight scene is enacted here. The serpents come in. They don't move, don't speak, look only judgmentally at us. Eli Sansarique, the powerful snake himself. Magnanimously, he was giving the assailants the chance to flee in disgrace, letting us gather for a more interesting hunt. Okay, whatever. Gets a body. Perhaps my reputation as anarch bootlicker precedes me. Given that you've been smeared with blood of cattle, am I right to assume you're not part of their pathetic assault? Right. We're siblings in arms here. Siblings? More than cousins, I'd say. Perhaps several times removed. She tosses me a sour glance. Okay. His eyes are fixed on Kali. That's quite the rogue, wouldn't you say? Teach him a lesson. Right. She makes him do the thing. We have no time for whatever punishment awaits her. Do it on her behalf. But leave the girl be. Let me take care of him. That unfortunately brings Sansarique's eyes onto me. Everybody in the room as well, Kali included. To be honest, I very much prefer not to flaunt my gifts for all and sundry. Dementation. See my mind and weep. Crouch down and lock eyes with the hunter, right, the guy that we send off, that Kali sends off with a grenade. Whatever. There's a shred of defiance in him. I whisper the truth, unpleasant, exhilarating, reaching deep into the core of the hunter's ego. It's the truth he knows, but keeps hidden, the truth he cannot handle. Speak until he's a step away from falling apart. He's spouting tears and rolling back in his skull. No, don't. Okay, whatever. I keep going. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Sansarique coming over. Now, that's quite enough. Don't want him completely broken. What? Okay. Eventually I back off, eyes downcast. I'm flustered in the shape of my lack of control. The hunter breathes laboriously on the ground. He approaches the hunter slowly, lazily. Right. I know from many stories what Sansarique is capable of, but it's still uncomfortable to watch as the hunter melts into Sansarique's arms and embraces him. Right. Return to your patron. Right. It's not Kali who gives him the grenade, it's Eli. Right. No further distractions. The path feels much shorter than I recall. In the distance, I see one of those RIBs bobbing in the river. Now, Sensory turns to Kali and me. You have the misfortune of catching me in a nasty mood. Okay, Kali glances. My name's Kali, and here's all I know who that is. I'm more interested in you. Nishim, what are you, a wimp? I'm Reynard Castle's child. Okay, despite the relatively safe gambit, Sensory's face grows even sourer. Okay. Haven't heard from good old Ray in months. Okay. Sensory makes yet another disparaging sound at her. I quickly clear my throat. Evade? Sure. We're looking into Castle's disappearance for motley reasons. Would you share with us your most recent dealings with him? My attempt to extract information out of Sensorique is artless. Okay, I don't mind. I must say the brat is truly was insufferable, fixated on antediluvians, right? And he couldn't fulfill his promises. We all know all that. Let me be perfectly clear. The history of Clan Ravnos was never of interest to me, and I have little desire to discuss it. Neither had Reynard up until a few months ago. What prompted his interest in these topics? I haven't the slightest. But I'd bet the promise of profit was his primary motivation. What I will say, however, is that his focus on, how do I want to put it, business relations waned significantly. All right. Reynard Castle's been slipping in his promises. Okay, I get it. Let me speak plainly. Reynard's missing. I have no interest in the brats insomuch as the objects he swore to procure for me, and since I'm aware, well, he has no hand in obtaining them, it's high time I move on. Okay. Reynard meddles with powers beyond his ken. Okay. What's our next move? Sensorique's clueless about Reynard, too. Your sire's messing with some dangerous shit? Great. Okay, I'm about to insist we press Sensorique on the Hunter issue when I catch her dejected face. There's usually so much pep in her step. It's as if she was born to smile and not frown. Okay. Does it bother you that Castle's been undermining you and reneging on commitments that involve your work? She scowls at me. Of course it does. Should we go? I see. Shall we take our farewell then? Hold up. There's one more thing I need to ask. She backs away, grabs Sensorique's attention. Just one more thing. The circulatory system seems to have a hit list, and Reynard's sitting at the top. Any clue about that? Sensorique's eyes narrow. Well, color me astonished. He was blabbing on and on about his latest illustrious benefactor, who could help him circumvent the red market. He makes such a sour face that we are still mortals, he'd probably spit at her. Were we still mortals? Seems like he ended up on the bad side of that slumbering bitch on the Hudson. Frankly, good riddance with that. Tilts her head. Who do you mean exactly? That's Michi bitch, Vritra, or whatever. What's her deal? Her deal is she waltzes in like she owns the place. Yeah, okay. Cully keeps talking. I wonder what kind of relationship Reynard has with this Vritra. Do you think? I do not think about her child with Reynard. Nor do I wish to start. Okay. I think our meeting's concluded. You're right. Well, at least we confirmed Sensorique had nothing to do with the disappearance. You should leave the city, child. Looking for your sire will lead nothing but death and ruin. Okay. Kindness, Fionn. Guide the raven's wings. Okay, a rare commodity indeed in the kindred world. I'm glad Kali understood in time and managed to shut her mouth. Instead, she gives a silent nod and hooks her arms in mine. We make our way back, and we now are in connecting the dots. We've gathered a trove of information about matters related to Kali's sire. We should discuss everything, take a metaphorical breath, and determine our next course of action. I've heard some of the crazy legends that popped up around the Ministry over the years. I don't know if they can actually control the elements, but the second we stepped off North Brother Island, a ruthless wind kicked up. I'm pretty sure this was also under Kali's dialogue, too. It was like Mother Nature screaming at us to get out, so we did. As we talk in the pier, the thunderous crash of water, fierce and intense, drowns out our voices if devouring our words for sustenance. I feel Kali might be in need of some light entertainment. Now let's recapitulate. First, Jessica Wainwright says Castle is now number one on the circulatory system's hit list. Yeah, and I'm probably going down with him. Okay, correct. And second, Eli swears he hasn't talked to Reynard. About his items. Right, so the items you arranged for Sensorique through Castle haven't shown up yet. Castle has also developed a rather intense, almost obsessive interest in the antediluvians, but his reasons and objectives are still a mystery. She just quietly nods along. Reynard Castle's been MIA for the past few nights, despite having meetings lined up. None of this makes any sense. We're only looking in from the outside. Sure, whatever. It looks like your sire's playing a very dangerous game indeed, one whose rules we don't know. And there's that Samitsi from the Hudson. Vritra, was it? Sensorique mentioned that she's after Reynard. Tell her about Vritra. Tell her, spoil her, enlighten her. Here I was hoping Kali would let it go. Don't know much about her, just that she's got some sort of show on the Hudson. We should definitely look into it. Oh, look into her eyes. Silence, goddammit. Spinning the ring helps me calm down and gather my thoughts in some semblance of an argument. I raise my head to find Kali scowling at me, thoroughly annoyed. But I need to lead the conversation elsewhere before we unpack her emotions. I'm not convinced that's the smartest approach. What solid proof do we actually have that ties her to Castle, aside from the rumblings of a disgruntled serpent? She rolls her eyes exaggeratedly. None, but then again, we don't have much of anything solid, so we might as well chase up what leads we do have, right? Tell her you'll go have a talk with Vritra. That makes sense. How about the circulatory system? Right, we had to push her towards that. However, I think it might be better to focus our investigation on the circulatory system. She narrows her eyes while I pretend not to notice she's looking at me. Honestly, this feels riskier than chatting with one kindred. Before I can persuade her how risky the endeavor is for me, her eyes grow wide with surprise. Are you scared of her? Not quite, but thank you for the excellent excuse. Well, Sensory did imply she single-handedly ousted his entire group out of Harlem. To be fair, he only suggested she just does whatever she wants. All right, I'm getting sloppy. The ring really doesn't want to land on 20 either. Kali's eyes narrow further in suspicion, and my vitae freezes. Before she confirms my fears. Do you know her, personally? Well, I've heard of her. Word travels fast, and she's been the talk of the town. She's quite the enigma. Okay, stop it. Stop. She knows where... No one knows where she came from or why she chose New York. Right. Parasite, just like you. Okay, for God's sake, shut up. Shut up. Close your mind, Fionn. I will. The unknown element is precisely what makes her a threat. Okay, the way she grinds her teeth reminds me of a quern. Quern? Quern. But seriously, you know we can't trust the rumor mill. It's like the lifeblood of kindred politics. Everyone's been hyping up Sansariq. Okay, maybe we caught him in an inopportune moment. Okay, we might catch Vritra on that day, too. Right? Are you ready to stake it all in wishful thinking? Okay. The difference, confess your sins. No, Vritra, the story has just one ending. You disappear. Okay, we try and send her off to the circulatory system, I believe. It's killing me. I need to do something with my hands. Literally? Is she talking about the same thing? What do you mean? It's how I'm wired. Okay, wired. Right, the coin. And I turn back. Kali's always a few steps away. Never mind. Probably my trick. What's with your ring? My ring? It's gone. Kali lifts her hands and waves her fingers. Okay. Don't breathe. Give it back. Why the fuss? Don't understand. I need it. She crosses her arms. Hurt her. I'm serious. Give it back. Fuck. Can we just get on with it? She throws it away. I go chasing. Quit the game just once and trust me. What's going on with you? I might be able to help. She pries one of my hands away from the decaying plank I've nearly crushed and slips the ring onto my finger. I barely register her stepping away. The ring is back. It's back. It never went away. I spin it once. At 20. The voices disappear from my head along with their raucous discord. A wave of relief washes over me and feeling returns to my numbed limbs. I curl in on myself, calmer, happier, safe, cradling my hand. I don't understand what happened. She could have done anything she wanted while I was incapacitated. Is it possible that all she wants is an explanation? After all the lies and deceptions she has encountered, she must crave honesty and clarity. I can give her that, or at least a few crumbs of a larger truth. I do not leave important decisions to a die roll. Absolutely not. You're right. It would be monumentally foolish. As the very picture of candor, I look her straight in the eye. She sits down on the pier next to me and nods, encouraging me to go on. The ring, I consider, is my lifeline. It keeps me from drowning in the relentless flood of voices in my head. It doesn't shut them up entirely, but it dampens them, makes them manageable, subdued. Is that why you've been so obsessed about inner voices? Yeah, I'm searching for a more lasting solution. Some clarity, at least. On what? Fuck, I don't know. The past? What am I after? On the nature of these voices, their provenance. You don't know? I know. I've known these voices as long as I can remember. I understand why they grew stronger after my embrace, but I also know they're not like what others experience. Edric, I'm lost. What others are you talking about? Speak for a while. I hope a few crumbs of truth would satisfy her hunger. I'm Malkavian, okay, and she what? I can't help looking at her suspiciously. She don't seem shocked? I mean, if we're not, what are we if not the secrets we keep? Okay. Come on, come on. Extravagant hunches. Okay. That's nifty. You're wrong. Come on. Fucking... Let's just send her on her way already. I hear many voices, each of them distinct, but also the same. It's difficult to explain. I pause and hesitate. Should I tell her about thee? Of course, Fionn, of course. But among them is one that's elusive. It doesn't come from any known place and can't be quieted. I need to uncover its source and purpose. It's nastier than the other. Not exactly, just enigmatic, and there's only one. Yes, tell her about your mistress. Tell her. Shut up. Nobody seems to know a damn thing about it. She squints at me. Holding out on me again. Of course I am. It's impossible to share everything about oneself. I find that fascinating, don't you? They can pinpoint. Cool it, Gandalf. Keep your secrets. Okay. I'll let it slide. Everyone fucks up once in a while. Yes. Okay. Fuck. Raynor, why is the circulatory system obsessed with getting me out of the picture? I guess it's because they don't know something, or it's something we don't. Yes, very likely. Right. Every now and then I hit the nail on the head. Now, if Camarilla hadn't swiped my laptop, I might have done some deep digging online with all my tech, but honestly, probably wouldn't have made a damn difference. The behemoth like the circulatory system uses a sealed-off internet. Okay. You need to go to there. Okay. Have you ever come across someone named Kaiser? Habla español. You mean alemán. That's beside the point. Kaiser is a figure here in New York, veritable eminence grise, okay, La Sombra, Primogen, the altercation with the son of the Sombra, what altercation? I wouldn't know. I'm not privy to the particulars, only that it profoundly disturbed Kaiser. Primogen sounds pretty cool. I should definitely not meet with them then. I doubt you have much say in whether the Primogen chooses to seek you out. Anyhow, if we want to operate under the Camarilla's radar, Kaiser's our kindred. Hooking up with someone like that, I mean, I'm not even planning to stick around New York much longer. That's fair. Well, we don't have any other... Hold up. What about the Malkavian savants? Word on the street is she's pretty slick with intel. You know her, right? From clan to clan? Hope, the CEO of Double Spiral? Right. She was famous for her tech chops. She might not be the best fit for the job. All right. Do we go visit her first? Come on, come on. Let's touch base with the tech whiz. Seems safer to me. Okay. I just... Whatever. 5 months ago. So you've been at this every single night for, how long now? About 13 years, give or take. Damn. It's a lot of lots to process, ain't it? Best you heard it straight from me, though. I've seen the effect it has on folks who ain't ready for it. It changes you, keeps you up at night, gets right into your heart and holds on tight, and there ain't a sane mind to share it with. Nobody's gonna believe such tales. Now this here burden, you can let it crush you, or you can forge it into a weapon strong enough to destroy those damn leeches and avenge your offspring. Your choice. How widespread is this? How many like you are there out there? In America? Could be hundreds, maybe thousands. But the numbers ain't the point. We operate in small, close-knit teams. No offense, but that seems mighty backward to me. A good leader could use your collective strength and expertise to make a bigger impact. Scale. You need it for any successful venture. What about gear? Please don't tell me you're out there with this antiquated stuff the NRA would be ashamed of. Grab whatever we can lay our hands on. Ain't no budget set aside for our kind of work. What if I told you there was? Right, and then he goes on his gigantic campaign. End the night. Come on. Kali is always late, as I have learned over the past 3 nights. Late for her, late for us, late for always, everywhere, nothing. Still, guided by an old habit of anxiety and politeness, I leave my haven early to wait for her by my car mere minutes after sunset. I don't mind a few minutes of lost time. They'll be filled by my thoughts or the voices in my head, or both, whether I like it or not. But after just 5 minutes, I'm surprised to hear Kali's voice. Hey, what's a kindred like you doing in a place like this? Not this again. She looks tired somehow, more so than usual, as if her upbeat persona was only a mask hiding some private tragedy. So I give her a smile for her troubles, but decide not to pry. Be deadpan, sure. I live around here, and I've been waiting for you. She jokingly fans herself with her hand. It's getting hot in here. How about we switch gears and head straight to Hope? Let's do just that. Hope is rather busy these nights, so the sooner we approach her, the better. I swing open the passenger door with a flourish. Get in, please. Chuckles, genuinely amused. Playing the gallant tonight, huh? I roll my eyes as she slides into the seat, and within moments we're speeding off, chasing a glimpse of hope for better days. The streets are busy tonight. I concentrate on driving, which leaves my head gloriously empty but unfocused. Kali is being very quiet, suspiciously so. I observe her out of the corner of my eye, but don't notice anything aside from her usual restlessness. She looks almost relaxed. Okay, come on, we can just get there. I've managed to establish someone at the Double Spiral will hand us further instructions. What does that mean? Might be a precautionary measure, someone related to espionage. She assumes we're being followed. Then we get there, and then we go through this song and dance, and Okay, tells us, what? Make your way to the circulatory system's core, plug in this sucker. Right. Alright. You knew it. I knew it was her the whole time, and you fucking knew it. Deflect. Merely suspected. Okay. Let's move on. I won't tell her that might be for the best. I'm not even sure who he is anymore. Oh, Reynard. Okay. I might not know Reynard as well as I thought I did. Circulatory system, and I'm not even sure who he is anymore. Sympathize, sure. I get it. It's unsettling to realize you don't truly know someone. Okay. Do now. Lifeline, Hope. But I'd rather not spend any more time with Hope than absolutely necessary. I believe their technological expertise might be the key to accessing the circulatory system's database. Right, this is where we have to throw a tantrum for a while, huh? Let's just skip up to that point. Okay. I guess I'll listen to them for once. I'll sue your sorry asses. Alright. Time passes, and I find myself disassociating. One part of me stays in my body, feet firmly planted onto the ground, screaming my lungs out at the receptionist, the manager, 2 more employees desperately trying to calm me down, the guests, the security guards, everybody. The other floats above the filth of the material world, unbothered by it and untethered, much like a balloon barely held on to by a small child at a church fair. I ain't taking none of your excuses, my poor mama. It's weird too, because it's implied that he's British or possibly Irish or maybe even Welsh. I don't really know what Pedrick descends from, but either way, he would have an accent, not American, and yet here he's doing his best impression of. Minutes slowly trickle by. I am still going off on the poor employees when I catch Kali slipping back into the foyer. She nods at me curtly before she zips toward the exit. And you know what? You can take your fancy talk and shove it. Okay. It's unclear if they notice someone making off with their precious data, but the circulatory system doesn't immediately come after us, at least. I'm still expecting a pursuit. Ventru are not exactly known for their lenience and charity, so I make sure to weave swiftly through the streets, minding my surroundings. Kali is predictably delighted. Ooh, let's fucking go! I can say I'm not tempted, but it's better we don't attract too much attention, kindred or mortal. I ease off the accelerator, blending into traffic as we head back towards Manhattan, much to Kali's disappointment. Check up on her. Did you run into any trouble? Nah, just some lab rat and a rent-a-cop. Quite an adventurous night, I see. She tosses her head back and laughs. You could say that, and you enjoyed going berserk? I just shrug. I have a little sympathy for Ventru ghouls. As far as I'm concerned, they signed up for the job and all its perks. They don't deserve it, but you do. Nice cold, man. Impressive, too. I'll make a con artist out of you yet. Who says I'm not one already? Foreshadowing. Bursts into laughter again. In the world of maybes, let us hope that Hope gleans some useful data from the... something useful from the data we purloined, and she won't waste our time with another little game of hers. Okay, we enter the server room. She doesn't spares a glance. Hope plugs into a laptop. She starts sifting through data. Okay, gold mine of info. She points offhandedly at some of the screens. FBI Special Affair Division. Sin list over here. He's up to his neck in shit. Okay, diablerie. Bullshit, of course it is. She avoids my eyes. Okay, so the hot mess is what literally catapulted your side to the top of the circulatories list. Is there anything worth mentioning? Arms trade. Interesting. I do not like it. And is this an issue? No, at least until you take a peek at whom he's trading with, and who might this mortal be? Didn't say. Damn. All the speakers and big names. Okay. The Vitae freezes in my... by the way, she's also way up there in the circulatory system's hit list. Could be a random thing, or maybe not. They barely have deets on her. Figures she's very sneaky. Alex, I can't have Hope exposing Vritra in front of Kali. Not when I'm so close to... Yeah, Vitra's a tough cookie to crumble. I shoot her a warning look. Playing with fire, Kali. Oh, did Red Ray spill the tea about her? Tell me everything. I'm super curious. I don't need any tea to hear the talk around the city. Everyone in her sire is shitting their pants over her. True, and they're right, though no one's really got anything solid on her. Not even me. Guess that she's definitely mixed up in some nasty shit. So word is she might be linked with the Black Hand, but honestly, if there was any proof, I'd totally found it by now. Black Hand? Impossible. Black and charred. I give my ring a few spins to calm down. It's mere speculation. I'd have known if she was involved with the Black Hand. You mean the Sabbat? Aren't they extinct on the East Coast? Make sure my voice is steady when I speak. They were driven out of New York 2 decades ago. It does not mean they are extinct. Okay, how do you know so much? Not right now. I don't have enough time for all my current engagements. Okay, shame. As I said, I don't think she's with Spot. Okay. A year and a half ago, Vritra just popped up overnight. Not the whole Or took the whole Hudson River and half the Staten Island as her domain. What do you mean? She's lying pretty low for kindred. I will say, if Red Ray really is teaming up with her major props. Let's be real. Whatever drama they're stirring up, it's not part of his plan. Never occurred to me. Calm down, Pedrick. Even if he is caught, which is unlikely judging by Vritra's plans, he surely has no idea about my involvement. I'm safe, you hope. No one gets what Vritra's playing at, and that's why everyone's so antsy. Stability is key here in New York, and she's anything but that. What I seem pretty much the typical kindred push and pull. Okay, I nod and butt in. Don't fuck with Vritra. Hope shrugs. So a few bits on Raynard, next to nothing with Vritra. Seems like he didn't find anything interesting. I bet any other info dealer would have gotten all the good stuff. Are you trying to get a rise out of me? That's adorable. Hattie, tell her she's adorable. That's not entirely accurate. I know her. I've known her longer than you, Hope. She's a menace. That's what she is. Fine. Keep your stick up your ass. Just because you're super cute, I'll throw in another tidbit for you. This report's kind of making some guesses about Addison Payne. Addison Payne? Wait, isn't she this old fart in a wheel... Or isn't it this old fart in a wheelchair from the Camarilla? Sure is. So what guesses are we talking about? Yeah, its bits aren't from the SAD report. They're straight from the circulatory system based on whatever stuff they dug up in the file. Some buzz about Payne and where he really stands, especially since he supposedly bought spiked blood from your sire. Payne buying from Castle? Why would he do that? A venture of his position has no need to stoop so low. They kind of thought the same at first, and then, like a month ago, some of the big shots started pushing to cut off his access to the circulatory system. Maybe they just used the opportunity for a power grab. What's that supposed to mean? There's always been something iffy about Payne. Okay, the way her eyes flicker to mine. She said, what's that supposed to mean? You can never be sure if it's lacks to the trustworthy proxy. Okay, everything I've got for you. The rest is goodies for me. Okay. Any chance I could get a copy? Hope freezes. Good luck with your endeavors. You're going to need it, and much more than that. Were we still mortal after all of tonight's revelations, Collie and I would probably sequester ourselves in a bar and drown our sorrows as we try to unravel these two tangled skeins. Since we can't stomach alcohol, we just wander around in silence for a while until we settle on a tiny little bench hidden beneath a naked winter tree. I'd like to say that we talk, but I mostly just listen. It seems the river of Collie's frustrations has finally burst through the dam, and the fast-flowing torrent threatens to drown my ears. I do not mind. She needs this the way I need my right to quieten the raging thoughts in my head. The sheer number of times Raynard pops up in these SAD files is pretty fucking concerning, not only because of the actual shit he's pulled, but also because he's been so damn sloppy about it. They have so much stuff on him, stuff that could have easily been avoided if he's just, I don't know, if he'd just put up a bit of thought into his actions and kept me in the loop, maybe. Like, it's no coincidence there's nothing specific about me in the file, you know? I cleaned up after myself thoroughly, I think. Regular people wouldn't find shit, and Raynard left so much fucking trail behind, I'm surprised he's not in some kindred Guantanamo by now. You give a skeptical yeah, they haven't. Perhaps speaks volume about your sire's ability to dodge bullets. I guess. Okay, why Raynard might be dealing in... any idea why Raynard might be dealing in arms with a mortal? Honestly, Pedrick, I feel like I don't know shit anymore. Plus arms dealing? I don't know. I can't recall dealing with a single mortal since my embrace. If Raynard was peddling something, I'd expect to be fake shit, decoys, or whatever. But guns? I hate to be the bearer of harsh truths, but I feel never truly knew your sire. Can anybody say they really know someone? Do we know ourselves? What are we if not the secrets we keep, right? She grins in return. Who came up with that nugget? I think you shouldn't be blaming yourself for dishonesty. It's not your fault. Nobody can go through this ordeal expecting to be crossed at every given moment. Not equipped to unpack all this right now, sorry. Okay, you know, thinking about it, we've been hunting down my sire for 4 nights, and I realize I know jack shit about yours. Care to share a bit? Tell her, Patty. Tell her! I don't. You are safe, Fionn. I have nothing to hide about my provenance anymore, not from Kali at least. Frankly, I can't tell you much about them because I don't know. What do you mean? Simply don't know who embraced me. I spin my ring. Okay, it's a faint memory, but I remember almost dying towards the end of World War II. I assume I was embraced by a fellow soldier. Okay, she pats me awkwardly on the shoulder. It's all in the past, sure, fine. It's a long time ago, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Can't wrap my head around why someone like Payne would go to such lengths to avoid buying blood through the company he partially owns. Maybe he's plotting to start his own gig. Okay, it does seem like a stretch. Okay, Raynard's setting up his co-suppliers, and that's a stretch. Okay, it's not really Payne's way of doing things. Hopefully we can find a way to use this information to your advantage when we face the council, like exposing Payne as a fraud. It'd be badassery if we had any evidence of these suspicions, but we do not. deflates a little. I guess that's an obstacle. And how does Vritra fit into all this? Their ever-elusive mistress of the Hudson River. For the love of... I thought we wouldn't be coming back to this topic. Okay. Join them. 20 at last. I am grasping at straws, I know, but everyone's freaked out by her. It's also so fucked up. Deflect, as always. I finally get my voice back. But what isn't fucked up, right? I don't get it either. For once, she seems to grasp I don't want to talk about it and leaves the topic be, which unfortunately means I have to address the tiger in the room. Tonight marks the last night in the grace period Gadir gave you. All our leads have dried up. It's unlikely we would find anything else of use anyway. I think we have enough circumstantial proof to clear your name. We could trade it for your freedom. You mean for a longer leash? Sure, we have some solid clues, but they're just that. Best case scenario, they order me to stay in the city. Alright. Technically, you were just supposed to keep an eye on me, but, I agree. Yes. I squint at the starless sky. I miss seeing the eternal lights. Okay, there is still time until sunrise. I doubt we'll find anyone to Elysium tonight. I look at her carefully, without concealing the doubt and pity in my eyes. You have a safe place to stay the day? You're welcome in my haven if needed. The couch will still be there. Should still be there. Okay, yes, and then we go back, because she takes the risk that we stay there 2 nights in a row. Same river twice. In the quiet of my haven, thoughts of what could befall Kali tomorrow run through my head at triple pace. I'd understand if she choose not to face the travesty of justice that is the council, but I don't think she'll back down from a challenge, hopeless as it may seem. It's a long walk to my haven, through the streets slowly filled with people, the darkness dispersed by soft, warm light spilling from the windows, where I might have taken the bus. Okay. Get back in here, and the sun's about to rise. Couch is still here. Okay. Sure we don't find ourselves in one of the famous only one bed solutions. Okay. I mean, you're into bookish stuff. Never thought it'd be... Okay. I'm not trying not to pry any further, but the book at the back... And put the book back on my shelf. Kali settles on the couch. I gather she's in no state to sleep. What are you thinking about? Ready for your thoughts? Just going through my list of excuses for tomorrow night. You thinking anything in particular? I know you're wary about bringing up Vritra, but I'm fucking desperate. I'm ready to throw out any fake-ass Sabat bullshit that'll cling. Vritra again. Seems there's no escaping from this sleeping dragon. Mentioning Vritra is a dangerous move. You know how contentious she is to the council. I strongly advise against it. A relentless barrage of curses runs through my mind. Clouding my judgment with a flood of raw emotion, fear. I stop fiddling with the books and sit down next to Kali. The council doesn't have a stellar track record lately when it comes to making rational decisions. However, the web of your sire's connections is extensive, which absolves you of direct involvement. Okay, what happens is not your fault. Okay, everything's fine. I really appreciate the thought. Okay, we're done. Christ. Meanwhile... Elena? Addison, what a surprise. What pearls of wisdom will you bestow upon me today? The thought alone is giving me a migraine. You know exactly why I'm here. I do, but don't let that stop your soliloquy. The ship of ours is sailing too fast to simply turn back now. The course is set, and it seems that our captain is struggling to command her crew. A faltering captain is hardly the right kindred to help us weather this storm, don't you think? Choosing our captain isn't your place, dear friend. Perhaps not, but it could be yours. The tides of change are upon us, Helena. Whether you're prepared or not, don't make this more difficult than it has to be. It'd be better if you stepped aside while you still can, before it becomes inevitable. Would it now, Addison? The cards haven't been played in your favor, I know, but if you choose wisely, you might even seize the role of Primogen in my stead. Think of what I've said, but quickly. Time is another ally you can't count on anymore. Elena. Okay. I mean, this whole thing really would have just been more interesting if we just stuck to all the bits we hadn't already gone through. But anyway, we will end the night. This is at least speeding up a little bit, mostly because I'm skipping through about 3 novels worth of dialogue. Okay, we'll end this one here. I'll see you next time.